Today we're going to start with lesson 4, which is all about using the order of operations. You can find this on pages 17 through 21 in your book. Order of operations is used to simplify expressions. So when we simplify, that basically means we want to perform all the indicated operations that are possible. The order of operations goes like this. First, we work inside grouping symbols. Then we simplify powers and roots or exponents. Then we multiply and divide from left to right, and then we add and subtract from left to right. You're probably used to seeing it as E for parentheses, E for exponents, M, D for multiply, divide, and then A, X for add and subtract. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. So we're going to use the order of operations to simplify this expression, and we want to justify our steps as we go along. Okay, so we know we always start with parentheses. So in this set of parentheses, we've got 10 times 3. 10 times 3 is 30. And we continue, plus 7 times, and then we've got another set of parentheses that we simplify, which is 5 plus 4, and 5 plus 4 is 9. After parentheses, we move on to exponents. Notice here we don't have any exponents. Oh, sorry, I forgot to justify that step. Okay, so we don't have any exponents. So what comes next is multiply and divide from left to right. So the only multiplication I have is the 7 times 9. So I want to simplify that. So I've got 30 plus, and 7 times 9 is 63. So that was our multiply and divide. All right, no division. So then we go on to addition and subtraction, which we always do last. So here we have addition. 30 plus 63 is 93. And to get that, we used addition. Now, it's really important when you do problems like this and they say justify each step, that you write what you did in every single step. All right, now we have another expression, and notice this one has exponents, so it's just slightly different, but it's still an expression, so that we still want to use the order of operations. So, of course, we always start with parentheses. Now, the only set of parentheses here is this 3 inside the parentheses, and the parentheses are just holding a 3. They're not really doing anything. So then we move on to exponents. So here we have 4 to the 3rd power. That means we're going to multiply 4 times 4 times 4, and that's going to give us 64. And we continue with plus 9 divided by 3 minus 2 times, and then we've got 3 to the 2nd power, which is 3 times 3, so that is 9. And we need to justify again. So here we simplified. Now after exponents comes multiplication and division from left to right. We always have to go from left to right. So we got 64 plus 9, that's adding, but here we've got 9 divided by 3. So we want to do 9 divided by 3. So we start out with that 64 plus 9 divided by 3 is 3, minus, and then here we've got some multiplication. 2 times 9 is 18. So there we've done multiplication and division. Right, now finally we add and subtract from left to right. Always go the same direction that you read. So we've got 64 plus 3 gives us 67 minus 18. There we added. And then 67 minus 18 get that, we subtract. All right, now let's look at the next example. Simplify each expression and justify each step. So we want to make sure that we justify all the steps that we take in this problem. We're using order of operations, so we start with parentheses. And inside parentheses, we want to use order of operations also. So here's this parentheses. We got 2 times 3 minus 2. In order of operations, multiplication or subtraction. So we're going to do 2 times 3, which is 6, minus 2. Keep that in our parentheses. And then we've got square all over 2. We're still not done with our parentheses. This was, let's see, multiply in parentheses. Okay, now we're going to subtract inside this parentheses. So we've got 4 over 2. That step we subtracted, parentheses. Now after that we go on to exponents. So we've got 4 squared, which means we do 4 times 4, which is, that was exponents. And then finally, we're going to do multiplication and division. Here we just have division. 16 divided by 2 is 8. Now did we get that? We used division. There's our solution. All right, so now we're going to use order of operations, and we're going to simplify some expressions and then compare them. So we want to simplify these two expressions separately and then decide which one is greater and put the appropriate symbol. We'll start with just this side. We want to use order of operations. Remember, parentheses, exponents. We'll start with parentheses. We've got 1.5 plus 3 is 4.5. And we've got divided by 9 plus. All right, so that takes care of our parentheses. Now we want to go to exponents. So our exponent here is 3 to the third power. Everything else is going to stay the same. 4.5 divided by 9 plus, and then 3 to the third power is 7. All right, next we move on to multiplication and division from left to right. So we've got 4.5 divided by 9 here, and if we divide 4.5 by 9, we get 1/2. And finally, we do our addition or subtraction, and 1/2 plus 27 is 27.5. I know, that's a 2, sorry. Okay, so now we have to decide, is this right side greater than, less than, or equal to what we got for this left side? So again, we're going to go through and do our order of operations. We're going to start with parentheses. So we've got 18 plus 8 plus 26 minus 8 divided by. And then we go into exponents. There's no exponents to simplify here. So then we want to move on to multiplication and division from left to right. So we start with division right here, 26 divided by 2, which gives us 13. And then 8 divided by 4, which gives us 2. And 13 minus 2 is 11. So we've got that the left side is 27.5 and the right side is 11. And we know that 27.5 is greater than 11. Remember, in your inequality symbols, alligator eats the bigger number, so 27.5 is greater than 11. Okay, now we have a crop circle and a soccer field to deal with. A crop circle in a wheat field has a diameter of 100 yards. Its area is 3.14 times 100 over 2 squared square yards. The World Cup soccer field is 70 yards by 110 yards, and its area is 70 times 100 square yards. How much larger is the crop circle than the soccer? Okay, so what we have here is we have two expressions. We have an expression for the area of the crop circle. That's this thing right here. So that's the expression for the area of our crop circle. And then we have an expression for the area of our soccer field. That's this thing right here. Now the question is, how much larger is the crop circle than the soccer field? Okay, so let's say C stands for crop circle, S stands for soccer field. And we know the crop circle is larger because it says how much larger is the crop circle. In order to figure out how much larger the crop circle is than the soccer field is, we want to find the area of the crop circle, find the area of the soccer field, and then we want to subtract the two to figure out how much larger the crop circle is. We're going to use order of operations to do that. I've got 3.14 times 100 over 2 squared. That's for the crop circle. If I want to simplify this, I have to work in my parentheses first, so 100 divided by 2. So this stays 3.14. 100 divided by 2 is 50, so 50 is what goes in my parentheses, and then it's squared. Now, if I take 50 times 50, I'm going to get 2,500. And when I multiply that 2,500 by 3.14, I get 7,850 square yards. So yards squared. Okay, so here's the area of my crop circle. Now I want to look at the area of my soccer field. The expression for that is 70 times 110 square yards. There's only one operation to do here, and it's 70 times. Multiply those two things, we get 7,700. Now remember, the question here was, how much larger is the crop circle than the soccer field? So we want to take the size of the soccer field, the area of the soccer field, which is 7,850 square yards, and subtract the area, that's the area of the crop circle, subtract the area of the soccer field. So 7,850 minus 7,700 gives us 150 square yards. All right, and that is it for lesson 4.